first implemented in 1974 when DECS issued Department Order No. 25, Section 1974, titled Implementing Guidelines for the Policy on Bilingual Education. Bilingual education in the Philippines is defined operationally as the separate use of Filipino and English as the media of instruction in specific subject areas. As embodied in DECS Order No. 25, Filipino, changed to Filipino in 1987, shall be used as medium of instruction in social studies, social sciences, music, arts, physical education, home economics, practical arts, and character education. English, on the other hand, is allocated to science, mathematics, and technology subjects. This same subject allocation is provided in 1987 Policy on Bilingual Education, which is disseminated through Department Order No. 52, Section 1987. The policy is as follows. The policy on bilingual education aims at the achievement of competence in both Filipino and English at the national level through the teaching of both languages and their uses as media of instruction at all levels. The regional languages shall be used as auxiliary languages in grades 1 and 2. The aspiration of the Filipino nation is to have its citizens possess skills in Filipino to enable them to perform their functions and duties in order to meet the needs of the country and the community of nations. The goals of the bilingual education policy shall be: first, enhance learning through two languages to achieve quality education as called for by the 1987 constitutions. The propagation of Filipino as a language of literacy. Third, the development of Filipino as a linguistic symbol of national unity and identity. Fourth, the cultivation and elaboration of Filipino as a language of scholarly discourse, that is to say, its continuing intellectualization, and the maintenance of English as an international language for the Philippines and as a non-exclusive language of science and technology. Filipino and English shall be used as media of instruction. The use allocated to specific subjects in the curriculum as indicated in the Department Order No. 25, Section 1974. The original languages shall be used as auxiliary media of instruction and as initial language for literacy where needed. Filipino and English shall be taught as language subjects in all levels to achieve the goals of bilingual competence. Since competence in the use of both Filipino and English is one of the goals of the bilingual education policy, continuing improvement in the teaching of both languages, their use as media of instruction, and the specification of their functions in the Philippine schooling shall be responsibility of the whole educational system. Tertiary level institutions shall lead in the continuing intellectualization of Filipino. The program of intellectualization, however, shall also be pursued in both the elementary and secondary levels. The Department of Education, Culture, and Sports shall cooperate with the National Language Commission with according to the 1987 Constitution, shall be tasked with the further development and enrichment of Filipino. The Department of Education, Culture, and Sport shall provide the means by which the language policy can be implemented with the cooperation of government and non-government organizations. The department shall program funds for implementing the policy in such areas as materials, production and service training, compensatory and enrichment program for non-Tagalogs, development of a suitable and standardized Filipino for classroom use, the development of appropriate evaluative instruments.
Good day everyone, I am Melan Emurang. So this is the continuation of Ms. Melanie Galanida concerning about the Philippine language policy. So Executive Order number 335 on August 25, 1988 Then President Corazon Aquino signed Executive Order number 335 enjoining all departments, bureaus, offices, agencies, and instrumentalities of the government to take such steps are necessary for the purpose of using the Filipino language in official transaction, communications, and correspondence. The order was issued on the belief that the use of Filipino in official transactions, communications, and correspondence in government offices will result to a greater understanding and appreciation of government programs, projects, and activities throughout the country, thereby serving as an instrument of unity and peace for national progress. All departments, bureaus, offices, agencies, instrumentalities of the government are enjoined to do the following take steps to enhance the use of Filipino in officials, communication, transactions, and correspondence in their respective offices, whether national or local. 2 is assign one or more personnel as may be necessary in every office to take charge of communication and correspondence written in Filipino. Then 3 is translate into Filipino names of offices, buildings, public edifices, and signboards or offices advisor or its instrumentalities, and if so desired in front below in smaller letters the English text. So the commissions on the Filipino language, formerly Institute of Philippine National Language, is ordered to formulate and implement programs and projects for the full and effective implementation of the objectives expressed in the executive order. In 1994, Republic Act No. 7722 creating the Commission on Higher Education was signed. This act, which is known as the Higher Education Act of 1994, provides that the CHED shall be independent and separate from the DACS and attached to the office of the President for administrative purposes only. Its coverage shall be both public and private institutions of higher education as well as degree granting program in all post-secondary educational institutions, public and private. One of the first steps undertaken by CHED was to update the general education curriculum of tertiary courses leading to an initial bachelor's degree covering 4 curriculum years. This was done to make the curriculum more responsive to the demands of the next millennium. The requirements of the new GEC are embodied in the CHED Memorandum Order number 59 series 1996 listed under miscellaneous of the CMU its language policy, which is as follows. In consonance with the bilingual education policy underlined in DEC is Order number 52 series of 1987. The following are the guidelines based on this medium of instruction to wit. 1 is language courses, whether Filipino or English, should be taught in the language. 2 is at the discretion of the HEI, literature subjects may be taught in Filipino, English, or any other language as long as there are enough instructional materials for the same and both students and instructors, professors are competent in the language. That could be all. Thank you.